Are you very inspired to make gigantic, huge outposts with a bunch of storage? Massive farms, huge, tall storage skyscrapers. You see the videos over these saying to do this thing, make this outpost, connect this giant network, and you're gonna need tons of XP, tons of this, tons of that. I've done that a little bit, and I'm going to tell you in this video, this is not something you actually want to do, at least in the way that people are saying. It'll eventually lead you to a point where you can't even play the game where it's fun anymore. So I'm going to tell you what's happening after you do this, how to fix it, and then what to do so you can still get what you need. All right, so first I want to give you just a general sense of what my outpost here looks like. I've only got two main big resource producing outposts. You can see there are some pretty tall storage skyscrapers here. I've got a number of power generations with the wind. I did add a reactor later just to cut that down a little bit. And then I've got some more over here that sort of show that, you know, it's a pretty decently big outpost. Now, if we want to see it from the actual high point of view, I got a number of different cargo interlinks, meaning I could send those to different systems. I've got, again, all these storage containers. You can see some of them are pretty massive. And then a couple more interlinks. And my plan was to do like all of these videos say, is link all these things to different places, make all of these different things, get tons of credits, get tons of XP. So I did this one, and this one is on Vessel 3B. It's the one where you try to get a number of resources in it. It's a good starter spot for sure. So here's the one I've got in Bessel. The other big one I've got is way over in Archimedes 3, which is way over here. And this is the one that I've got on Archimedes 3. You can see I've got a number of different farms again. I've got a number of different resources over here. Oh, and I've actually got a ship that's coming in at one of my interlinks. So those interlinks are the ones that you want to get so that you're sending resources from one base to another. I just want to show you this because I want to show you this is the biggest two bases I have. Everything else I have are very, very small. Nothing major. These are barely intensive, but nothing I'd say that's crazy, especially compared to what I've seen in a lot of these videos. So I decided to build these monster outposts to get a bunch of resources, XP, credits, etc., like we talked about. And then I noticed something seemed to be amiss while I was playing the game. When I was playing, it was not as fun anymore and there was something wrong. So I was streaming and this is where it starts. You can see all right, and I even made a comment there that was a little glitchy. Then I decided to go to this base, fight some stuff, have some fun, and I was working on some jumping around with my boosters and everything, but it gets to the point where it's like unplayable because it keeps locking up. As simple as being at this table and picking up that magazine and then turning around and what? Okay, it's like, what's that little, it was small there, so I was like, okay, that's not a big deal. But when you're fighting, like it's just stops. It's just straight stopped right now. I didn't pause. What? That is the game running. That is not me doing anything. That is fully playing. Look at this. It's just like, and I'm just screwing around because I'm playing around with my booster pack, but still I'm going, what is happening where I am just stopping? And I really want to provide a number of examples here so you can see it. This is not me pausing. That is the speed of my game right now. This is regular speed, me playing, just straight locking up. Unplayable in my mind. Okay, this is annoying as shit. All right, hold on. Something's wrong. So you can hear, even in live, I knew something was up. So I decided to mess around with something on OBS. No, still slow. Something was wrong. And it's important that I really hammer this home. This is just me running and just stopping. And you can see at that point, I get really frustrated and I'm like, okay, something's up here. And I'm not wrong. There was a problem and I go searching for a number of things to try to fix a problem. I played with my settings. I made sure the game was up to date. I made sure my drivers were up to date. And then I get to this point after trying a couple things and I'm just like, all right, let's see if I can fight again. Keep it simple. Got some dogs thing. And then it's just going, all right, lock up, just straight lock up. That again, you cannot play a game like this when it locks up like that. So I was insanely frustrated. I mean, this is one of the worst parts of it right here where I'm just going, why is this not working? I didn't get it. So I'm just very frustrated. So I actually had a Windows and a driver update and it's still getting some locks. I was like, all right, maybe that wasn't such a big deal. And again, just falling there. It was like I was just falling and it was like, no. Again, just can't even walk. Can't even, you can see the frustration on my face. It's just like, what is happening? And a little bit more, again, it just, I'm fighting just straight lock. It's just locked up. Just bonks. Bonks, 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 bonks. And then even just swinging around here, it's just it locks. And I even made a comment about how glitchy that was. So clearly, again, I want to really emphasize how glitchy this is becoming. And I find a solution for why this is happening. But I keep trying to stay persistent. And here, look at this. Just, I can't even run. I went to go check out my mod organizer 2 to see. I kept testing to see how it was going. And you can see some of it, it's okay. But then it got a little funky and I was like, oh, maybe it's these fire particle effects. And I'm just swinging things around. Sorry if it's making you sick, to try to test to see if I could figure out what was causing the glitches in game. And again, you can see I can't even run. I mean, again, there's some more particles here. So I start thinking maybe it's particle effects. I hope at this point I've emphasized that this is an issue and that we need a solution for it. And it's going to tie into your outposts. We need to stop with certain aspect of outposting. And again, here, look at that. It's just brutal. So as you could tell, it became to the point where it was basically unplayable. Not fun. I didn't like it. And I was like, what the heck is going on? Is this related to Outpost? Is this related to drivers? What is it? But as I mentioned, I figured out where it was. And it started by scouring the internet. And of course, on good old Reddit, I could find other people who are having the same problem. They were saying large outposts were the cause of this game-wide stuttering. So I dug into it a little bit. I won't go through and read all this to you. You don't need to see that. I'm going to summarize it right here and now to show you what you need to do to fix this. But there are a ton of people having this problem. And a lot of these posts from the time that I'm shooting this video, these are about 2+ weeks old. And I haven't seen anybody really talking about this. And given how many Outpost videos are out there, just a simple Starfield Outpost search. There are tons of them out here. Best places, best Outpost builds. They're all over the place. And a lot of these are talking about, I mean, you can even see this one. They're talking about tons of different resources. I know I've watched some that literally, I mean, look at the image on this one here. That is a massive, massive amount of things there. And you will see a lot of different people. And this is not necessarily any of these particular people's fault. They might mention it kind of off to the side where they was like, oh, you know, things were kind of, it wasn't great. And I was like, it didn't trigger with me. And so I spent all this time building these things, researching things, running over to planets, building, getting skills, da. Do not do that unless you want that stuttering that I showed you. So now let's get to how to fix this. Okay, so one of the things they do mention on that Reddit post, which honestly I didn't find necessarily that you could do well or didn't work, is what you could do is you could connect all your power to a switch, which I did it in my other outpost that you probably saw. There's a powered switch here. You could put this up. So what you can do after you have that powered switch is you can click here on any power source. On your move controller, it's A, PC, it's a little bit different, but hold what it is. It'll say wire. You click select A and you can link it to another power source. You could go through and do it for each one. So basically make a connection to your power like you did your cargo. And then what you could do is you want to link all of those to this switch. Wire from the switch, you link it to your first power source, and then when you're at this switch, you can turn things off. Now, I have not seen an indication on my actual outpost where I can confirm that it's actually happened. You can see my total power is still working. It hasn't changed at all. When I actually go to toggle view, these things keep turning. So does that work or not? I couldn't really tell, but ultimately at the end of the day, I still had the stuttering after this. So I'm not fully convinced about the switch method, but one method that I do know 100% worked to get rid of the stuttering is these link systems where you get the ships that come down that I showed you that. Don't link them. Why not link them? I need them to send stuff all over the place. Yeah, you're right. You know what? I want to send stuff all over the place too, but you know what I want to do more? Is I want to play the game. And this was causing a problem. And once I removed those from my other outpost, it immediately started improving my gameplay. The stuttering went away. So don't link. It's really, really unfortunate that that's what you need to do to be able to properly play the game, because why make these sort of game mechanics if you can't do them and still keep the gameplay tight and good? And I will tell you, not just on Reddit, but my PC, I've got a pretty high-end PC. I've got an RTX 3080. I've got a high-end Intel processor, 64 gigabytes of RAM, etc. It should be able to run this game no problem. And it honestly did up until this point. That was when I first started getting things to be super stuttery. So those ships, just ditch them. Just, you can't do it. But there's got to be a way to still do some of this and get the outposts, get the XP, all of that. And yes, there absolutely is. I'm now level 116, and I will tell you, I have been slow playing levels, the storyline, all that sort of stuff for the first like 2+ weeks of the game. And then in like 2 or 3 days, I got 80 or 90 levels. It was bonkers. I just went nuts with it. And honestly, I didn't have a bunch of links. Now let's look at what the gameplay looks like without these links at all. So let's see, we just got one little guy here. It seems pretty, more. We got more. Seems pretty non-glitchy so far. Yeah, I mean, a little glitch there. Look, we got a bunch of them coming now.
Got another one. Let's do this.
Yeah, I mean, look at how much smoother this is. We got more enemies, more particle effects, and it's all holding all right. Poor Sarah, I love you, bae. Seemed decently... Oh, here's one more. Seemed decently smooth to me. I mean, that's a huge difference compared to what we had before. There are more particle effects and more enemies. Let's see if we can get some more to show up. Oh, we got a couple here. You gonna attack me? Or yeah, you're gonna run away. All right. Not a great test, but still very smooth. All right, we got a bunch coming up here. Let's see how this shakes out. The whole time, let's just... Again, we gave so many examples of glitches. We got to see what it's like with... out glitches, and I'm just gonna let this run full play. We got several enemies here. Hey guys, let's be friends. Oh, little glitchy to start. We got some particle effects. We're holding all right. Seems like it's pretty good comparatively speaking. I mean, we got smoke showing up. Go hit that cockroach. Oh, Sarah Bay, come back to me, love. Again, this is night and day compared to what we had to deal with before. Don't you run. Don't you kill my Sarah and run. Come back here. I will avenge you, my love. And these stuttering glitches shall be removed forever. So, I don't know. I mean, to me, this is pretty solid proof that this is way better. Again, a little hitch in here and there. I think I might have one interlink still up, and that could cause it. But this is pretty good. I'm pretty happy with this. Again, comparatively speaking, this is how it should play at its worst. A little hick here and there, that's
You're going
doable.
to be carrying.
I'm just messing around here, and it's still pretty good. I got a lot of particle effects in here. Tight course, close combat. Probably should not mess around so much. Level 76 in there.
Whoa! What the hell are you firing at?
So you can tell that's pretty good. So how do you still get some of these resources? How do you still build up massive XP? I will say don't spend your time doing a bunch of crazy outposting. Yeah, make a few big ones where you can make farms, but don't link them. Because I'll tell you, like I've got this ship right now, and this is my small one. Look at the mass that I have here. I call it the baby turtle. I have a Hydra turtle as well. I've got 36,000 cargo in this. My other one is 70,000. It's amazing. I'm gonna do some videos on both of those, so definitely like and subscribe if you want to check them out. Because if you're into big building, resources, outposts, stuff where you just love to sort of, I don't know, that fun home building type aspect where you're just trying to create an empire. Some of us really like that gameplay, and you can still do it, but you just got to keep your expectation levels and the grandiose that you want to do it at a minimum, unfortunately. I hope Bethesda eventually fixes this, One of the things they said on the Reddit post is that this is typically not something they do. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's meant to be a mechanic that you're not meant to do in a big level, but literally I had to delete every single link. So I think there's got to be something there that they hopefully eventually fix. But for now, I would highly recommend just keeping it simple, have a few main resource bases, and then watch the next couple videos on the ships that I can help you build for relatively cheap. And the truth is if you're building these, you're not going to have any problems getting the credits to build what I'm going to show you. They destroy everything in your path, and you will be able to get everywhere in the solar system with them. You won't need another ship. So I appreciate you making it this far. If you found this video helpful at all, please consider hammering down that like button. Share with your aunts, uncles, nieces, and nephews. And until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day.